trying to put myself back out here in the world. I chose to do this seminar to challenge myself and push myself further after my extended hospital stay, as I have mentioned, 3 months on and off, and my trying to get back to, I don't want to say normal, maybe even better health and vitality. But I had this beautiful moment in a meditation that we were doing, and it's something that I hadn't thought about in a very, very long time. And it was something that I just wanted to share for all of you. As some of you may know who are my customers or who are my friends, I always say the things that are written on my truck, I do believe are the building blocks of life, and they're on there because I feel like they're really important, and it's something that I want to share with the world. And I want each and every one of you to find your bliss and your dream and your true passion, because it's so beautiful when you do that. And I think it takes a lot of strength to get there sometimes. And I think a lot of times people will quit because they feel like they're failing and they don't continue to push on to that next level, even though in your soul, you know, it's telling you that's what you're meant to do. So don't ignore it. Just sometimes you have to find a way. And this story is about that. It's my breakthrough into my career, specifically my career breaking into the dolphin field, which was my dream. Since before I was 14, I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't have the word for it, I guess. And at 14, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And it was dolphin-assisted therapy. And I remember that's a big reason why I came back here, is the big ultimate question: what do you want to do with your life when you grow up? And I always laugh because I feel like as you're a kid, you're allowed to dream and say whatever you want. And as you get older and older, all of a sudden, I always laugh because I feel like that question is really, what do you want to do that's practical? And what's practical seems to just be what people know, not what's actually achievable. And I think that's something that we all need to remember if your soul's really pushing you to do something different. And for me, I always got, you know, you'll change your mind. It's 1 in a million. I could tell you stories about even more, but I won't get into all of that. And I just remember when after college, you know, that was all through high school. I don't think I had a ton of guidance, only because people didn't really know how to pursue something like this. They know a few little facts that aren't the reality of the career. And as I got, you know, past college, I worked really hard just to even break into the zoo field. And there was a moment that I almost did give up, because I remember thinking, like, I do really love what I do right now. And I had turned in like over 100, not exaggerating, over 100 applications, because I got to this point, I'm trying to think, 4 years, yeah, it was probably, yeah, I had to be 4 years in to my zoo career, where I got this point where I'm like, oh, you know, I have some experience now, like, I'm gonna go make this happen. So I just, you know, I just kept applying and applying and calling and applying, and, you know, no after no after no after no after no. And then I just felt like, you know, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. maybe this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, and, you know, no further. Like, I don't know what else to do at this point. And there was something just, again, it's like when you feel that in your soul, that was like, no, like, you're gonna make this happen. You have to find a way. And it was like, all of a sudden, I remember the day. I remember exactly the room I was in. I remember it popping into my head, this last resource that I had. And it was a little out of the box and a little differently than how I had ever thought things would go, or, you know, you see or visualize it happening. But I'm like, what the heck? I'm going to give this a shot. And next thing I know, I get my first yes. And it's, man, when that happens, it's like a flash, like you've been waiting for it, you've been working for it, you want it to happen, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's happening. So the crazy thing is, I really had never left my small little town. I had set foot in the lake one time, mind you. I had been to the ocean maybe 2 or 3 times briefly. And if I think I may have been on a plane, but if maybe once in high school and maybe as a kid, but I barely remember it. So next thing I know, I'm supposed to take off on a plane by myself. I'm going to Florida. I get this, it's an interview, a working interview. So I get this interview on this shark diving boat that also does dolphin research. And I'm going out there to leave for the Bahamas. And when I say to leave for the Bahamas, I don't mean actually go on land. I mean leave for the water of the Bahamas. And if you can imagine, I had excitement and fear and a little bit of everything going on. And I get to this boat, and I'm the only girl. crew member, the only girl crew member, minus one captain, which she's still my friend right now, and she does trips every now and again, but mostly guys. She helped out here and there, but more there to have fun. And I'm trying to get a job, obviously, so I'm trying to work my butt off. So I'm sitting there, you know, sweating with the guys, hauling stuff in. And I remember them looking over like, they said, every girl we've ever had on the boat never does this. And I'm thinking, well, I'm a zookeeper, so that's fine. I'm hauling chum in, which if you don't know what chum is, it is the most disgusting smell of fish you can ever imagine. It's dead, rotten fish. So yeah, there's a lot of things in multiple jobs that people don't really understand. And so I'm thinking, okay, like, you know, I'm doing good so far. And I remember the captain saying, do you get seasick? And I'm thinking, I do love to swim. I was on swim team. I was a lifeguard. I'm like, I think I'm okay. And I remember him kind of cracking a smile, and I didn't realize at that time. Oh, it wasn't until later that I realized. And I realized how bad seasickness can be. So we take off, and there's this point where you start to get out so far that all of a sudden it's like everything just goes dead. You have no phone. It's just a totally unique and different experience if you've never done anything like that. So, so that was the first thing. The waters were kind of calm. It was okay. Now, mind you, it's like hurricane season. I have no clue because I don't really know that much at that point in time about the ocean or, you know, anything in it to a point, except for my dreams of swimming with dolphins and what I want to do. So next thing I know, the waters are getting horrible. Because mind you, we actually did end up coming home a little bit early. Typically you're out for 2 weeks to maybe even a month. And this was one of the huge hurricanes that happened and really hit the Bahamas hard. So if you can imagine the kind of waters that we were in. I was so sick. I was so sick. I can't even tell you. I remember feeling so extremely embarrassed because you have to think, like, I was there for an interview. I'm there to work. I have jobs to do. I'm there to also help out with the people that are there for a trip. And instead, I'm throwing up off the back of the boat. At one point, I remember like holding on to this picnic table and being so sick, just swaying and just hoping that it ends, that it just ends. And I took Dramamine, but Dramamine does not help you when you get to that point. It was past that point. So of course I still tried to work though. I tried to work every second I wasn't throwing up. I was helping cook or do this or whatever needed to be done. But it was a rough night outside. It was a rough night outside. The next day comes, same thing. I'm still trying. I can't believe it. I'm still sick. It's day 2. I'm so sick. Like, this is my dream. I love the ocean. Like, I couldn't wait for this experience. Like, again, it was one of those moments like, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. Am I meant for this? How is this happening to me? So, let's fast forward to the evening. I'm still sick, mind you. I'm still sick through all this. And we just hit a stopping point. So we had never stopped, really. So we hit a stopping point, and it was just briefly. And the captain comes down and asks, does anybody want to, stop for a dolphin, the opportunity to swim with dolphins? Most of these people are primarily there for shark diving. So there's different spots that they tend to go. And luckily for me, everyone was, thrilled. Like, a night dive with dolphins, pretty cool. Like, I didn't even realize that was a thing until that point in time. So he starts up the boat again. Of course, I get sick again. It's kind of a theme. And we go and come up to the spot. And I'm sitting thinking, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Like, I'm so weak at this point, too. I'm so sick. I'm so weak. And the captain, after he stops the boat and we're sitting there, he says, you'll probably feel better if you get in the water. You should just give it a shot. And I was thinking, yeah, that's just what I want to do, is go and jump in, wavy water. That sounds wonderful. But of course, I want to swim with dolphins, so I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting off the back of the boat, and I'm like thinking, can I do this? Like, yes, I'm gonna do this. I've waited for this my whole life. I'm gonna do this. So I jump in, and it's really crazy. You don't at night they turn on the lights, and the dolphins know the boat because we've been with them for so long. And then also, if you can imagine, lots of things are attracted to light. Lots of things that dolphins like to eat. So hand in hand. And next thing I know, I'm like, whatever, I'll go under, try to get water over my face, because I'm thinking, I really don't want to puke in the water with all these people, and that's how I was feeling. But when I stick my head under, it was so crazy. I wasn't expecting this, because you see nothing. There's nothing going on. Even in the light, there's nothing. But all of a sudden, I just, like in the tapes and the videos and everything that I've ever seen or heard or watched, I can hear dolphins all around me. It's so loud, clicking, everything. It was amazing. And suddenly it's like, even though I was so sick, it just kind of washes away, and I'm like looking and excited and swimming and just, where are they? And like a flash of lightning, a dolphin swims by, and I'm like, oh my gosh, And the next thing I know, mother and her cab swim by. And I remember actually the one girl captain was in the water with me, and she's like, swim, play, you know, flip, they love that. And you don't have to tell me twice, vomiting aside. So I go back under, and then I had this amazing moment. It's something we call an encounter. It's very different than just swimming with actual encounters and interaction. But gosh, for me, this moment, it just, I can't even believe that I haven't thought about it more, because it still brings tears to my eyes. Just this moment that's like a lifetime, where this cab comes up, and it's just, he kind of starts to play, and then, you know, our eyes meet, and the mom doesn't leave them. She stays very close. So she comes up too, and it was just this moment where it was like all of our eyes met. And I do believe that saying, the eyes are the window of the soul. It was like a moment that really resonated. It was so beautiful. I can't even put it into words for you, other than it really felt like they could see me and I could see them. It was like one of the most amazing moments in my life. Just like everything made sense. Everything. And you know, they stayed, and we rolled around, and I swam and I swam, and still felt like puking, and I swam until finally the captain said, come on, let's go, we have to get to our spot where we sleep at night. It's a little bit calmer, a little bit just the waves are kind of blocked in this area. So we go, and I'm feeling better, but I'm not feeling great. And I thought, you know, like, I think I'm gonna sleep at the top of the boat. There are these lifeboats. So I go up there, and I'm like, the fresh air just felt so much better. So I'm laying down, and I just remember looking up to the sky, and it was the most beautiful sky you can ever imagine. And I look up, and stars everywhere, and we're a big boat, but when you're the only boat, you can imagine just the only boat out in the middle of this humongous ocean of just nothingness. Again, no phone, no nothing, just little old me in this lifeboat staring at millions of stars and watching the waves. And it was this moment that I felt so small, and I just realized there's so much more to life than just us and our problems and what's going on. And there's so much more that I am meant to do and meant to give and meant to be. And I was so grateful. So weird to say, but I was so grateful for all the people that, what do I want to say, challenged me or didn't believe in what it was that I wanted to do, because without them I may have never made it there. You know, it's like all these little moments, all of these things in my life led me up to this moment, and it's just right where I'm meant to be. And that was where my career really began. Dolphins, I mean, right after that, it's like everything just took off for me. The therapy work, just amazingness. So for anybody out there, you know, that has a dream, believe it. Believe that you can do it. I always say believe when no one else does, because you can make it there. And when you do, when you find that true life purpose that's deep down in there, it's just the best feeling in the world. And I think every single one of us out there has our own unique talents and gifts, and we're meant to be different, and that's okay. I think you just have to embrace that. And it was something that I needed a reminder of, because there's always going to be all these challenges and walls that come up in life. You just have to keep what's in your soul and keep pushing on. And if you can't find a way, make a way. So dream, believe, take action. And I hope that helps someone out there. Love you guys.